Hi, everyone. My name is Blair Pierce, and I am the Director of Operations at Think Realty. I have just a couple of quick announcements that I would like to make before we get into the webinar today with Michael Poggi with the Millionaires Group. First off, I would like to tell you a little bit about our brand new membership. We just launched it called Think Realty Plus. Think Realty Plus gets you everything we have to offer, including exclusive virtual events, publicity opportunities, advertising, trusted partner discounts, free live event tickets, Think Realty magazine delivered to your door, our entire knowledge base, basically anything and everything that we have. With our launch, you get Think Realty Plus for only $14.99 per month. Just use the coupon code LAUNCH when you sign up for that membership at thinkrealty.com. Also, we just announced our Phoenix Conference and Expo, which will take place March 27th and 28th. Tickets for that are only $64.99, or they're actually complimentary when you sign up for Think Realty Plus. And all that information can be found on our website at thinkrealty.com. For the workshop today, please use the question box to answer any questions you may have throughout the webinar because sometimes things get lost in chat. But with that, I'm going to hand it over to Michael Poggi, our land expert.
Thank you, my friend.
No
My
problem.
real name is Michael Poggi. That's close enough.
Oops, sorry about that.
That's all right. I still get it wrong, and it's my name even. So I understand. So I appreciate you guys having me on today. Thank you very much. And I know that some of the people listening today have maybe seen me speak at your events in Scottsdale or in Orlando, possibly. But I want to make sure that if you have not met me before, that you get a chance to learn a little bit about what I'm good at today. and then I also would like to learn a little bit about what all of you are good at and what you guys are all working on as we go forward. So today we're going to be sharing a lot of secrets today of things that helped me to become super wealthy in real estate investing. And I have several companies that do different things in real estate. One of them is Poggi Wealth Institute that teaches people how to invest in real estate. The other company that I'm the founder of is the Millionaires Real Estate Investment Group, which does new construction homes and building apartment buildings and fix and flipping and lending and things like that. And then I have my third company called Build Wealth with Land LLC. And Build Wealth with Land LLC handles strictly vacant lot purchases and resales. So we currently help thousands of customers every year to invest in real estate using my strategy with quarter-acre buildable vacant lots. I've been doing this for about 28 years, so I've become an expert at it. And of course, I've had my failures, I've had my challenges, and I look forward to sharing with you some of the things that did work for me and some of the things that did not work for me. So feel free to take notes, and if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll be glad to respond to them closer to the end, I'm sure. All right, so let's get started. So my background is as a stockbroker and like a financial planner. In other words, helping people to invest in stocks and mutual funds. And most of you know that most people invest in stocks and mutual funds and do not invest in real estate. As a matter of fact, a lot of people never got a chance to learn about real estate growing up. So when I lived in Chicago and I was a powerful stockbroker helping people to make money in the stock market, I realized that there are so much more risks involved with investing in the stock market compared to real estate, and also way less advantages. So I ended up selling my brokerage firm, moving to Florida, and started to invest in real estate myself. And then also my stock client investors started to invest in real estate with me, and I grew my portfolio of fix and flips and new construction houses quite quickly. But the one thing that made me lots of money with the least amount of headaches was investing in quarter-acre buildable vacant lots in fast-growing resorts. So I've been sticking with that strategy all these years. I've done very, very well with it, especially using a self-directed Roth IRA. So for those of you that don't have a self-directed Roth IRA already, you should definitely learn about how to get one and open one, because a self-directed Roth IRA is what we call a real estate IRA. And a real estate IRA allows you the ability to invest in real estate tax-free. So I built my wealth by using a self-directed Roth IRA. There's many companies available that you can do this with, and some of them are huge, and they'd be glad to help you to get that set up with a new IRA or even a rollover if you have an old 401k plan or an IRA at Schwab or Fidelity or Bank of America, for example, any of those IRAs that are not with an administrator are not legal to buy real estate. So you don't have a self-directed IRA if your 401k plan is at Schwab or Fidelity or some other company, or if your brokerage account is at a brokerage firm. None of those are self-directed. Self-directed means that it's at a custodian, like an equity trust or one of the other big names. There's quite a few out there available. And those companies help you to invest in real estate all tax-free. So if you have questions about that, I'd be glad to help you because I feel that's quite important. I've been speaking on stage for many years. I've got several books on Amazon and courses that I've sold as a young man. And I can tell you that most of my students said to me that they would prefer if I would find the vacant lots for them. So here's one of the books that I wrote that's on Amazon, Build Wealth Tax Free. It's one of my best sellers. And of course, it's a few years old, but either way, it's still a very successful book and has a lot of my secrets in it. And that's on Amazon. The reason why I wrote this book was because I wanted to document all of the things that I did to get to this point in my life where I can make thousands and thousands of dollars per month passive income from vacant lots without having to deal with tenants or toilets or aggravation for that matter. And we're going to discuss that shortly about how do you make vacant land cash flow. Most people have never heard of that. So it's a unique strategy, and most people don't teach it or don't talk about it. But I've become an expert at making vacant land cash flow. And I'll teach you my secrets as we go forward, and hopefully it'll clarify some things, okay? Well, here's an example of some of the courses I've taught over the years. But again, my students wanted me to do it for them. So we turned our business into a done-for-you program. So my company, Build Wealth with Land, essentially finds vacant lots for you and my family, my friends, and my investor clients. Our job is to make sure we do all the work that you would do, which is to find the lots, vet them, make sure they're buildable, check for liens, walk the property, take pictures, negotiate with the seller, do lien searches, and then pass it on to the persons that the person that ordered the vacant lot. So we are a turnkey done for you program and so on. So we don't sell courses, mainly just all done for you. So today you're going to learn how to buy quarter-acre buildable lots in fast-growing resort communities, all done for you, where you have control now, where you're the boss. You decide when do you want to sell them, how long do you want to keep them, and all that stuff. We will be giving you advice on that, but we want to make sure that you make your decisions. We're going to discuss whether it's better to sell vacant lots and flip them, or whether it's better to hold vacant lots for long term and sell them on terms. There's different reasons for this, and we want to make sure we clarify the differences. So basically, we want to teach you how to make land cash flow and have passive income coming in from vacant lots and be a landlord of land instead of a landlord of a house. So being a landlord of land is so much easier than having any tenants or anything to repair, no toilets, no nothing. And we'll explain all of that as we go forward. So passive income from vacant lots, and it can be done in your LLC, in your name, or in your self-directed IRA. So we are the leader in finding pre-platted quarter-acre buildable lots in resorts. We have spent thousands of dollars on research to find where are the fastest growing communities in the country. In other words, where can I bet my money on vacant lots in the United States and have the fastest growth so I can beat the stock market returns and beat the mutual fund returns and have less risk than being in stocks or mutual funds as well. So we only go into fast growing resorts instead of areas that just have vacant lots for sale, like in a regular subdivision. And the reason why is that 25 years ago, when I first started this to practice, I did own vacant lots near where I live in Florida. I live near Fort Lauderdale, but the vacant lots that I was buying were in Cape Coral, Lehigh Acres, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, and those lots made me money, but not nearly as much as the lots that I tested buying in resort communities. Because remember, resort communities have lakes and golf courses and tennis courts and amenities and all of that stuff where a regular subdivision may not. So it's very important to be in resort communities only, not in regular communities. think about it. How many people would rather buy a lot that is right next to lakes and golf courses compared to buying a lot where you got to drive 15, 20 minutes to get to water, or there's no golf courses locally and so on. So the purpose of buying in a resort is because that the lots are more desirable and there's way more potential buyers for you when you decide to sell. So we do everything for you. We find the lots, we vet them, we make sure they're buildable, we check for liens, we pay off any liens if there are any. And then once we have all the data on the lot and we know that it's a good lot, we close on it and we pass it on to you in your portfolio. So total turnkey full service. Now, we all know that most people have stocks, mutual funds, bonds, annuities, gold and silver. That's pretty typical. But not that many people own vacant land. Not that many people even buy real estate for that matter. But the fact is that most wealthy people have most of their money in real estate and very little in the stock market. So if you're one of those people that has a current 401k plan where you work, you should be using some of that for real estate. You can borrow up to 50% of your current 401k plan to use for real estate, typically. And I can explain more about that to you when we talk offline on a private call. You can use your old 401k plan from a previous job to buy real estate by rolling it over into a self-directed IRA. So the idea is that, think about it, when you buy stocks and mutual funds, the downside is pretty high. I'm sure you all would agree that a stocks or mutual fund portfolio could drop in half quite easily. So you can go from 100 grand to 50 grand just from some kind of bad news, like maybe a war, maybe an assassination or something like that, or maybe something that another COVID, something worse. That could make the stock market get crushed and you wouldn't be able to get out in time. You would lose a lot of value and that could be very dangerous. But when you think about it, what's the upside for the stock market and mutual funds? I don't know too many people that have made more than 6 or 10% on their stocks and mutual fund portfolio. Some people get lucky and they make more, but sometimes they give it all back or most of it back from making poor decisions on the next stocks they pick. So it is kind of like gambling, and it is not the safest way to become wealthy or the fastest way. The fastest way would be in real estate, and I'm sure that's why most of you have joined Think Realty in the first place, is to learn more about real estate so you can get out of the stocks and mutual funds, which is typically what we all learned growing up. So when you think about it, if the upside of stocks and mutual funds is only 8 or 10%, and the downside is huge, 50% or more, it doesn't make good sense. Why would you continue to keep money in something risky just to try to make 8 or 10% if you're lucky? You have way more control in the stock in real estate than you do in the stock market. You have the ability to rent something in real estate where you can't rent out your mutual funds. You can't buy mutual funds on terms with a bank and write off the interest or depreciation. So there's a lot of reasons why real estate is much better for safety and much better for upside return. Now, for me, I've been averaging about 20% per year on my vacant lot portfolio. And why is that? Because I hold my lot, I sit on them, and I let houses continue to be built all around me in the subdivisions that I'm in. And as that happens, and there's hardly any lots left, then my lots are way more valuable than when I bought them. So that's why vacant lots can be a phenomenal choice for your portfolio for lowering your risk and increasing your return. You can also buy vacant lots on terms, just like I did. So when I first started, I used to buy lots on terms. I would put a down payment down and make payments to the seller for 5 years or 7 years until I was completely fully paid off, at which point I then received the deed, and then I was able to sell my lot at a profit after paying for it on terms. You can do the same thing, and I'd be glad to teach you that on a private consultation when we finish. No problem. So think about it. Bonds have low risk, but they're low return. CDs have low risk, but no return. Cash loses money to inflation, doesn't get anywhere. But land can be low risk, especially if you're in the right areas, and can be a very high return and is a solid asset. That's very important. So remember, no tenants, no upkeep on vacant lots. Basically, there's no mowing even, because I only buy lots that are wooded with trees on them. I never buy lots that have grass because I don't want to waste money of $70 every 2 weeks to mow the lawn. So hopefully that helps. In other words, buy wooded lots only. It's one of my best secrets. Wooded lots only. So there's no tenants, no upkeep, nothing to do, but simply just wait your turn. And maybe one day when someone builds next door to you, sell your lot to the neighbor or give your lots to your children or grandchildren. If you're like me, you're worried about not only taking care of yourself for the next 20, 30, 40 years, but also your legacy to pass on to your spouse or your children or your grandchildren or all of the above. So one of the things you should think about is that when you pass away, what would you want to give to your children? A portfolio of stocks and mutual funds or a portfolio of vacant lots? Which one is safer and which one is better for your kids or grandkids? I know the answer because I've been doing it for so long. Definitely real estate's going to be a better choice. So here's some of my criteria that has been formulated over the last 25 years. So I only buy vacant lots in fast-growing resorts that are below 20 grand, only lots that are not on the lake and not on the golf course, only lots that are about a quarter acre to an acre. So I never buy 5 acres, I never buy 10 acres, unless I'm going to build houses on those. But if I'm just buying for investment purposes to hold land in my portfolio, then I only buy quarter acre to 1 acre. That's it. That's where I stick to. Because a quarter acre is cheaper than buying 10 acres. And a quarter acre can double easier and faster than 10 acres and easier to sell later than 10 acres, for example. So small parcels are like selling slices of a pizza. Think about it. What makes more money? Selling a whole pizza or selling slices of a pizza? Absolutely slices of a pizza. So it's important to be able to use this formula to buy slices of land that are quarter acre or maybe up to an acre and hold on to those and make a profit and then sell them on terms. So we only invest in areas that have many amenities. There must be more than one lake, must be more than one golf course. And most of the time, this scenario is not near where you live. So I don't invest where I live because I'm comfortable. I want to invest where the best profit's going to be. And that's definitely not in Florida where I live. The taxes are too high. The land is too expensive. The upkeep is a ripoff, meaning having to mow the lawn every 2 weeks and more and more and more. So for me, I don't buy any land where I live. I buy land where I make the most money. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So when I buy lots, there must be already an established infrastructure. For example, the roads must be already in. The schools, the banks, the churches, everything that you can think of must be already established. Otherwise, it's too soon. On the other hand, if you're the last lot left in the neighborhood and that's the one you're buying, that's too late. You don't want to buy too late when everything is done and there's no more lots left. You want to buy when the subdivision is less than 10% built out. That's my secret. So there should be at least some houses built in the subdivision, but not more than 10%. If it's under 10%, that means that the prices are still low and there's so much room for upside potential. But if the subdivision is 95% finished or 99% finished and you're buying a lot in there, now you're buying at the high and too late and not a good idea. So we do all the work. We find the lots. We make sure they're buildable. And as they come in, they go to the next person in line on the waiting list. So if you ordered 6 lots or 5 lots or whatever it is, 1 lot, whatever you ordered, then as the lots come in, they go out first come, first serve. And as soon as we have inspected the lots and we're sure that they're perfect and we're 100% sure there's no liens and we have a clear title, that's when they get moved into your account. And of course, you would be able to look at them, decide if they're satisfactory, and then agree to go ahead and take them into your IRA or into your LLC or in your name, whatever you decide. So resort communities provide people with a lifestyle. What do I mean by a lifestyle? That means that if you have a vacant lot in a resort and you went to sell it, your buyer could start using the lakes and golf courses immediately. That's attractive. That's very important to be able to do something like that because otherwise, you have to wait until someone wants to build there. Hopefully that makes sense. So when we did research to find out which areas in the United States are the fastest growing areas, we had to spend a lot of money to find the data that told us where are the most permits getting pulled, where are the most roads getting widened, where are the most shopping centers going up. where are the most schools getting built? That kind of data is very important. And not only do we have to check with planning and zoning to see how many permits are being pulled, but also how fast houses are selling in the neighborhood. What's the absorption rate? How fast do lots sell in the neighborhood? All of that was very important to me. So our research department did all of that for me, which means that they did all of that for you. So I've already paid for all that research to find out exactly where I should be buying and where you should be buying. So that's how we got to this point where we picked a subdivision in the United States that my research department found for me years ago that has been a gold mine. And I've made millions of dollars in there by buying and holding and then selling lots on terms in that subdivision to create massive passive tax-free income. So let me give you a couple things to consider. The increase in prices over the years has been amazing. In 2010, I was paying $2,500 for lots in Bella Vista, Arkansas. I'm not sure if any of you know of Bella Vista, but it's right near Walmart's headquarters. And so in 2010, I was paying $2,500 bucks. And then in 2015, I was paying $7,000. So that's really, it doubled in 5 years. You can see that. Make sense? It doubled in 5 years. And then COVID hit. So during COVID, nothing happened. They stayed the same for about 3 years. And then after COVID, they were selling for around $7,900. And then everyone started building again. So all the contractors started hiring their subs, pulling permits, and the builders went like crazy. Many builders started building in there again, and they were fighting over the lot. And investors were buying the lot, and people that want to build houses were buying the lot. And therefore, the prices are now in the $16,000 to $25,000 range, which is amazing. So that's pretty neat. And that means that I average about 20% a year in that subdivision, which is amazing. So there's different ways that you can do this. You can flip lots by buying them and putting them for sale, which we can do for you. So we have a program that once you buy the lots, we can sell them for you. We could find a buyer that will make you payments, and so you could have monthly income and have passive income. That's one choice. The second choice, which makes the most money, is for you to buy the lots and just hold them. Just like instead of holding a mutual fund for 10 or 20 years, hold vacant lots for 10 or 20 years. Same thing with the stock portfolio. Instead of holding stocks for 10 or 20 years, you should be holding vacant land for 20 or 25 years. That's where you'll make the most money. So if you don't need passive income right now, and you can build your portfolio up by holding for appreciation, you'll probably do way better than selling them right away. So if you want to sell them right away, we'll help you with that. If you would rather hold them for appreciation, that's the best way. So when you sell them, you're making a profit, but you're also making passive income tax-free in a Roth IRA. If you don't have a Roth IRA, that's fine. You can use your LLC to do the same thing, but it won't be tax-free. That's the only difference. No problem. All right, so here's a couple things that's important. One is, how do we offer lots for sale? This is one of the things that I did for many years to create a huge portfolio, and that is offering lots at 0 down, 100% financing, no credit check, everyone approved. That right there got me 80 phone calls from one advertisement, and I only had a couple lots for sale at that time when I first started practicing. So this type of selling on terms is a $1 million secret. In other words, if you know how to do this and become the bank, you can create massive passive income without having to have any renters or tenants. The subdivision is called Bella Vista. It's in Arkansas. Forgive the spelling error on this page, but I think you got it. So Bella Vista, Arkansas is the best location for me that my research department has found after looking at 4 or 5 other subdivisions in the United States. This one's the best. Here it is here. So Bella Vista, Arkansas is in the upper left-hand corner right here of Arkansas in the Ozark Mountains. The subdivision is so big that it takes me 4 days to drive through it all, of driving around all day long. It's 65 square miles. So here's Little Rock, the capital, and up in the upper left-hand corner right here of Bella Vista, of Arkansas is Bella Vista. It takes up all of the mountains in there. So that's where all the mountains are in there. So this subdivision is in all the rolling hills of the Ozark Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful in there. Now, Walmart's headquarters is right there. right near Bella Vista, and that's where most of the executives live in Bella Vista. So here's an actual map of the subdivision itself. So 65 square miles, and you can see the size of the map right here. And I buy lots all throughout here. There's 7 lakes and 8 golf courses in this subdivision. So think of it. I mean, this is the size of like a huge city, Fort Lauderdale. Even though it's a subdivision, it's the size of a city in itself. It's pretty neat. So I have bought and sold thousands of lots in here since 20 some years ago and made millions of dollars by just buying in here and letting them go up and then selling them on terms. It's a gold mine. So again, it's next to Walmart's headquarters. That's important. It's next to Tyson Foods World headquarters. That's important. So why do you think Walmart would put their headquarters there? Why would Tyson Foods put their headquarters there? Because the land is cheap. The taxes are low. The cost of living is low. People like it there because it has seasons. It's not too hot like Florida, but not too cold like the upper states. So people do move there and they live in Bella Vista because it's the best looking place in town. It's the most beautiful subdivision you're going to find. So there's 8 golf courses in there, 7 beautiful scenic lakes. And here's some examples of what I see when I drive through there. Here's my photos that I take when I drive through the subdivision. So here's a house being built on the water. You can see that all of the houses are built on slopes. So this slope's way down here. You can put your boat in by backing it up here using like a 4-wheeler or something like that. So all of these houses are built on slopes. Here's another one built on a slope. Behind it, it drops straight down. These are all built on slopes. This house is a Walmart executive, and here's a Walmart executive's guest house. And again, these are built on slopes down to the water. It's straight down to get to the water to your boat dock from these 2 houses. Here's a regular common house in there, probably worth around $450,000. Here's a house being built on the lake. So again, I don't buy a lot right here on the lake for 80 grand or 100 grand. I would rather buy a lot back in here off the lake and off the golf course for 15 or 20 grand. That makes more sense. There's 5 swimming pools, 12 tennis courts. Here's an example of a house built on a slope down. The road is up here. Here's the road. So you turn into your driveway straight down and pull into the garage. This is a split level. In the front of the house, you only see one side on the front, and on this back side, you see both sides. Beautiful resort in here, though. You can see here, this house is built on a slope down. You can see the concrete block right here that holds up the back of the house. And down here is the boat dock, the boat dock here where you got the roof. So you can see the boat is way down at the bottom. Here's an example of a vacant lot that I bought many years ago for 2 grand. I sold it for 14 grand. And I sold it on terms, and I collect $700 a month coming in from 10% interest on automatic payment into my self-directed Roth IRA every single month like clockwork. And there's almost no defaults. It's like 99% people pay monthly on an auto pay right from their account, ACH right into your account. So that's what I'm suggesting, is that you could be a landlord of land and collect passive income just like I do. So this lot was sold to the neighbor. In other words, the neighbor built a house. I found out about it. I called them up and said, hey, I'd like to know if you would be interested in buying my lot, which is next door to yours. They said, I'm sorry, we don't have any money because we just bought this new house, built this new house, and we bought new furniture and new landscaping and so on. So I said, how about if I sell you the lot on terms, 0 down, 100% financing, no credit check, everyone approved. And they said, yes, we'll take it. So that means that they did not put a down payment down, and I hold the deed. So if they stop paying me, I still have the deed. That's amazing because I have no risk. That means that if they make payments for 2 years or whatever, or 2 months, and they stop paying, I still have the land if I wanted to resell it. Just like at your automobile. Think about your car. When you buy a car on terms, you put down a deposit, but you don't get the title. And not until you make your last payment on your car do you actually get your car title. So the car is really not yours until you finish paying for it. Once you finish paying for it, then you own the car. Otherwise, you make payments every month. And if you don't, guess what happens? They take the car from you. Same thing happens with vacant lots like this. It's the most easy way to become a lender or a landlord by being a landlord of land and lending money people to buy your own real estate, just like I did. Pretty neat. Here's an example of what a street view looks like. All of the lots are wooded, so there's nothing to mow. And it's a quarter acre, quarter acre, quarter acre, all the way down the road. Very simple cookie cutter. Most of the roads are either dirt or gravel. There are not that many paved roads in there until all of the houses are finished being built. Then they pave them all over the place. This is an example of what a quarter acre would look like. Quarter acre in here, this one's a pie-shaped lot. Here's an example of what you would get. When you purchase lots from us, you get a plat map like this. So it shows you the map, which shows you the area where it's at. And these lots are labeled by the lot, the block, and the parcel ID. That's how they're labeled, is by lot, block, parcel ID. So take a look at this one. I'm going to show you an example now of a lot that one of my clients owns that they got it from us. This is lot 3, block 7. So lot 3, block 7. And what I'm going to do now is show you what the photos look like of the lot. So lot 3, block 7. So here it is here, this pin. Lot 3, block 7 is right here. So there's a house down the road here, one here, and so on, and one here. What happens when houses get built here, houses get built here, and houses get built here? What do you think happens to the value of my lot when houses get built all around me? Well, it forces the prices up, doesn't it? It forces the value up higher. That's what happens. It forces the value up higher, and then that's when you get a chance to sell yours at a profit. So it's pretty neat. As houses get built in a subdivision, it forces the lot prices higher every year. So here's that same lot zoomed out. So now we're on Google, we're zooming out, and this is lot 3, block 7, the same one I showed you. You can see the houses that I showed you right here. And as you see now, look at all the vacant lots that I'm still looking to try to purchase. I mean, I'll keep making offers on all of these lots until I can accumulate as many as possible. So this subdivision is perfect because it's less than 10% built out. That's what I wanted. Because just imagine if all this was built out, if all these lots here were all finished, what would this lot be worth right here? It could be worth 100,000 or 150,000. I don't know. But I know that being the last one left in the subdivision, that's the most profitable lot usually. So here's zoomed out again on the same lot. This is lot 3, block 7, zoomed out. And you can see that it is about a mile from this golf course right here and a mile from the lake. And you can see around the lake are all millionaire homes built around this big lake here, and also a lot of millionaire homes all built around this golf course. So, but look at all the opportunity here, all around here, these areas right here. Pretty neat. Miss Janet, if you could put your question in the chat, I'd love to see if I can address it for you. So just pop it in the chat and I'll check it. Thank you very much. All right, here's another example. This is lot 5, block 5 in Newburgh subdivision. So lot 5, block 5, it's a pie-shaped lot. And here's what it looks like. So right here's the lot right here. And again, all the lots are wooded, so there's no mowing. And you can see that there's houses in the neighborhood. But as I go forward and zoom out, you can see there's still plenty of lots available to buy. And the more lots we can buy at a cheap price, the better off we are. So everything you see here is all lots that I would love to own. And I continue to make offers for myself every single month. Here it is again, the same lot, lot 5, block 5. You can see though, that it's about a block from this golf course and maybe a mile from this big lake. This is Lake Lemond. It was built with a dam right here. And you can see all of the beautiful homes right here built on the lake. These are all millionaire homes all around this Lake Lemond. So I don't want to buy a lot on the lake for 100 grand. I want to buy a lot in here for, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20 in someplace else. Anywhere in here is very valuable to buy land, anywhere in here. So we are able to help you to find the lots once you're sure that you want to proceed. So once you give us an order and you say, yes, I'd like to proceed, we probably have about maybe 12 or 13 lots left at 16 grand. And then the offers that we made after that, we'll be putting out the lots at 17 grand. So I've probably got about 12 lots left at 16 grand that have just been coming in this week. where I'm signing off on them. And then we'll be offering them at 17 or 17,500 going forward. So any of you that are on this call right now that would be interested in looking into this, you should hop on my calendar today so that you have a chance of getting some at 16 rather than 17 or 18. So now you can use cash to buy lots. You can use your current IRA. You can use your old IRA or your old 401k plan. You can use your current 401k plan, which I can explain any of that when we do our private consultation call. So let's hop on a call together and let's go over this stuff for you personally. And I'll be glad to give you my calendar as soon as we get to that. So now, if you wanted to move assets around, you can sell your stocks, sell your mutual funds, or gold, or silver, or annuities, or bonds, and move it into real estate to get more safety and a better upside. We can also finance you. So let's say you said, Mike, I don't have 16 or 17 or 18,000 to buy a lot. I only have 8,000 or 4,000 or 2,000. No problem. My company will be your bank. We will finance you. You can make payments to us monthly until your lot is paid for. Once your lot is paid for, then you get the deed, and then you can keep it in your IRA or your LLC or your name, whatever you choose. So yes, we do financing for everyone. As long as you have the ability to make the payments, and we can discuss what payment amount is comfortable for you, no problem, then we can help you. So you can hop on my calendar and receive all of the bonuses. Here are the bonuses. Number one, I will pay your closing costs if you hop on my calendar today. Meaning if you hop on my calendar and you're scheduled, I will offer to pay your closing costs. We're typically around $750. So that means that your net cost would be $16,000, not $16,750. That's quite a bit of savings. The second thing that I'll be glad to give you as a bonus for hopping on my calendar is my land contracts. You can have those to use on your computer if you need it. My seller financing contracts that you can have. And my vacant lot advertisements so that you can use them to sell your lot if you choose to without me. Otherwise, if you need my help and our company's help, we will help you sell them, whether it's now or later, no problem. We will be glad to help you to put them for sale and either sell them for cash or sell them on terms. Either way, we assist with the back end of this to do your exit strategy. All right, so these bonuses are worth about $2,500. They're all for free, including paying your closing costs. We also can help you with rolling over your 401k plan. We can help you with rolling over your IRA from wherever it's at or opening up a new IRA. And we're very experienced with this. And we'll have one of the big custodians be assisting you for that process. Okay? So here's how you can reach me, guys, which is meetwithmichaelpoggi.com. That's the best way to reach me. So it's www.meetwithmichaelpoggi.com. You can also text me right now and say, hey, I'm so-and-so from Think Realty. I would like more information on vacant lots. So text my phone number, 954-258-6954, and say your name, that you want more information on vacant lots. So put your full name in there, and that you're from Think Realty so I know who it is. I want to show you a few more things before we open it up for questions real quick. So let me go ahead and exit out of this. And I'm going to show you real quick. Let me find it. Let's see here. I'm going to show you a video of the subdivision. Now this one is a few years old, so it's a little blurrier than I'd like, but it'll definitely give you the idea of what it looks like. So let's play it. Hopefully we have a good enough internet connection and it'll go through. Let's see. Maybe not, huh? All right, we'll try a different one then. I have another video to show you. Let's see. This is a newer one. Let's try this one. So that's a drone flyover of the subdivision. It's beautiful and it's massive. All right, so next thing I want to show you is the comparable prices in the subdivision. Let's look at that. Here's what the lots are really worth right now as of today, meaning that here's lots that have been sold in the subdivision since January of this year. So these are actual comparable prices that were pulled off of the MLS of sale prices from people that have sold their lots in there in the last 10 months. So from January up until almost now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is 145 samples pulled off of the MLS of lots that were sold between $15,000 and $25,000. So if you look here, this lot was listed for 10 and was sold for 15.5. Why would that happen? Obviously, there was people bidding on it, and several people were fighting over it, and someone bid 15.5 and won the bid. And this was a 0.42, so it was a little smaller than a half an acre. This one was listed for 16, sold for 16. This is 0.30. This one was listed for 25,000 and sold for 25. So this is January 8th right here, all the way down. January, February right here. So as you look through this column here, the lots are all between a quarter acre and an acre. There's the lot sizes right here, between a quarter acre and an acre. And they all sold between 15 and 25,000 because these are high quality, beautiful lots to build on. And you can see the sale prices right here are very strong. 18, 17, 16, 20, 15, 20, 18.5, 16.5, 20. Now these prices do not include their closing costs. So when you buy a lot for 16, that includes your closing costs, okay? So as we go to the next 25 right here, this is the end of February and beginning of March. You can see the lot prices are very strong, amazing. 20,000, 18, 22, 20, 24, 19, 25. These are awesome prices and they were not on the market very long. Some of these lots were on the market for a week or 2 weeks or a month, whatever, very short time because they sell very quickly in there. Here's 50 through 75. And again, you can see here the lot prices that were sold. These are sale prices right here. 15, 25, 25, 25, 24, 25, 17, all the way down. So very strong sale prices going into the month of 4 of this year. As we scroll down further, going into the month of 5 right here. Same thing, very strong sale prices. Going into the month of 6 here, so the end of May, going into June, same thing, very strong sale prices. Going into July, so this is the last report that I pulled was in the month of 7, and you can see very strong sale prices all the way through. Hopefully that it can answer some of your questions, and I'm sure you have more, but again, if you're interested in getting a hold of me, please feel free to text my phone number, 954-258-6954, and we'll have a private conversation on a Zoom call, and we'll discuss exactly what it is that you need help with, and we'll go from there. Some of you may want to use your IRA for this strategy, and some of you may want to use cash, or may want to use your stock brokerage account and clear out some things from there. Either way, we're good. So I wanted to open it up for questions and answers now. So I know that I think there was one gal on there that had some questions. Let me check in the chat to see if there's any. I don't see any questions in the chat, so feel free to raise your hand and let's go ahead and answer your questions. What can I answer for you? Anybody on the call? Very good. Well, I appreciate you guys spending the time with me. If you guys can think of anything you want to ask, feel free to pop a question in the chat or send me a message. I think that covers everything we got today, guys. Other than that, I'm here to answer all of your questions in the future. Feel free to reach out to me. I look forward to your friendship. Thank you very much.